He dreamt of this rally with Jean-Louis Schlesser in 2009. René Medgar is celebrating his 81st birthday today, and the Bivouac of Africa Eco Race has this message for him.
Bonjour René.
Salut René, on te souhaite un très joyeux anniversaire du fond du cœur, de nous et de tous ceux que tu vas voir sur le clip. On t'aime beaucoup et tu nous manques énormément. Joyeux anniversaire.
Bon anniversaire René.
René, un très très bon anniversaire.
Bon anniversaire René, tu nous manques.
Happy birthday René.
Salut René, bon anniversaire.
Bon anniversaire René.
Pense très fort à toi.
Tanti auguri René.
René, joyeux anniversaire.
Bon anniversaire René.
It's already been a week since the competitors left Monaco, the mecca of motorsports, for this 14th edition of the Africa Eco Race. This gives us the opportunity to review the race so far with six-time winner Jean-Louis Schlesser. I will start by paying tribute once again to Armando Carreras Neves, who left us suddenly. Our thoughts are with him and his family. As far as the competition is concerned, it's going well. We had a big surprise with the victory of Amal Moto, and he is very close to the two leaders who are really experienced. Following the accident of our friend Armando Carreras Neves, we haven't had any big problems from a medical perspective, and that's really, for me, the most important thing. I think the race will really start very strong from the day after tomorrow. And at the end of this first week, Paolo Silvestre, two-time winner of the rally, is still in the game. He's fourth on a new bike, having not ridden for nearly 3 years. Just over 1 hour, 20 behind young Frenchman Javier Flick, who is third in the general. In two positions, having started well, Stefan Svitko had navigation problems, losing his place as leader. And finishing 2 minutes and 40 seconds behind him, Maurizio Girini. The Italian has won 2 of the 5 Moroccan stages. He had some problems with his forks and a rear brake on the second stage, but nothing more. The erg of Chigaga proved to be no problem for him. A very nice week for the leader, who produces olive oil when not riding in rallies. I came here without pressure. I came here only to have fun. Ride a little, enjoy the scenery. It's a bit like a holiday. But after the first special, I saw that I was first. So I worked on my strategy, and every day I dig a little deeper. I'm really happy. In the general classification, Maurizio Girini is leader, ahead of Stefan Svitko and Javier Flick. Ulvasta, Taras and Wallace follow. At the halfway point, Javier Flick is the first of the Motul Extreme riders. It's a great way of getting to Dakar on a budget. The Malmoto race requires them to be resilient and to have a sound knowledge of mechanics. For most competitors, a support team awaits at the bivouac, but not for these riders. They have to fend for themselves with just 2 Malmoto boxes. Anthony Schlesser gives us a sneak peek into the world of the Motul Extreme riders. We are spending this day of rest in Dakar, on the edge of the Atlantic. I'll take this opportunity to show you the Motul Extreme riders. Follow me, let's go take a look. The rest day is really an opportunity for them to have a rest and attend to the mechanics. It's a bit windy, that's a change from previous years. Everyone is preparing their vehicles for the second week in Mauritania. It's going to be very complicated for them. There we see Mamadou Bakoum, who will need to go back the way he came to get home. So, what can you tell us about your rest day? How is it going? Are you happy with the support of the team? So far, it's going very well. The rest day is made to rest, but also to take care of the vehicles. We have the assistance of the Motul Extreme trucks and the assistance of Motul also for the products we need. It's going very well.
et l'assistance de motules aussi pour les produits qu'il nous faut, donc ça se passe très bien.
Here we have a big Japanese delegation this year.
On a une belle délégation japonaise cette année, mais
there's a language barrier, but I think they're very satisfied.
Alors après, qu'est-ce qu'on va pouvoir aller voir? On va aller voir.
Now we're going to see Joel on the other side with Mikhail.
Alors, comment ça s'est
How was this first week with your companions? Because you two, even if you're not a biker, you are part of the Malmoto team.
Vous êtes quand même la motule extreme rider. Vous prenez soin des pilotes.
You take care of the riders, so we'd like your feedback. Are you happy with your riders?
On a de très bons poulains.
We have a very good driver this year. There is one that's very well placed. He's going to be much talked about.
Il va faire parler de lui.
We've had a very good team, and yeah, it's a good plateau. They're giving their all to ensure a good show in Mauritania. We can count on them. They will be there. And among these adventurers, the fastest is Javier Flick. And for this first rally raid, he came here to learn, particularly to learn how to drive alone and find his own way. Obviously, he's learned quickly because he leads the Malmoto. It's great because the Motul Extreme Rider standings, I have a good lead, and on top of that, I'm third overall against riders who have assistance. So it's an almost perfect first week.
C'est une première semaine presque parfaite, on va dire.
In the cars, the suspense was short-lived, because David Gerard had a problem in the dunes, and now Philippe Gosselin is well ahead. He's leading. It's good for him, because he doesn't have much competition anymore.
Plus grande opposition, malheureusement.
Indeed, David Gerard tore off his left front axle of his Optimus whilst in the dunes on the third stage. His mechanics did an extraordinary job fixing it overnight, ready for Thursday. Their work was rewarded when he then signed scratch 3 times over the 5 Moroccan stages. However, he still found the navigation quite complicated. In the same T1 category, we find Imre Varga, who distinguished himself during Saturday's stage before arriving in Dakar. Throughout the week, a multitude of minor issues began to accumulate, so when his Toyota was finally in good shape, there was only one thing in mind: full gas. A podium on Saturday and second place in T1 overall. In the general, and very far ahead, we find the 2 Optimus. For its return to the Africa Eco Race, the yellow buggy illuminates the special stage with Philippe Gosselin and Christophe Crespo. They certainly benefited from the troubles of their MD teammate David Gerard, but they also wanted to preserve their car and not waste too much time with difficult navigation. I never imagined myself as leader. I've always said I have to win stages to have fun, but to be a leader, the result is there. I'm very happy, especially since we've taken a lead. There are only SSVs behind me, but in the sand they go well. I have given myself enough space to allow for 2 or 3 mistakes in the sand in Mauritania. You never know what can happen, a beaching or anything. So, at the end of the day, that leaves us with a nice margin of safety. In the SSVs, the 2 leaders are not far apart. It's going to be a very tough race in Mauritania because there is a lot of sand and the SSVs will perform well there. The leaders of the SSV are Jean Dagahayek and Dutchman Laurent Meyer, who is used to Moroccan tracks after competing in the Rallye de Maroc and the Phoenix Rally. Now second in the SSV category, 20 minutes behind Jean Dagahayek. The former Senegalese dirt rally champion and 6-hour winner of the Dakar is competing in his first rally raid. As a teen, he was approached by the Renault Sport team and he drives here with the experienced Patrick Antonioli. They did well setting scratch on Saturday, a double coup because the 255 is the leader of the SSVs. And in the trucks, Tomczyk is, as usual, without competition. Thomas Tomczyk is hoping to make history by achieving the 4th victory, but this time alone at the wheel of his Tatra. Navigation during the first week was hard for him, as for many, but he is well ahead of the pack. Above all, he wants to reaffirm his love for the Africa Eco Race.
I would like to say that after 2 years, this racing is wonderful because 2 years be at home and the Africa is so nice and so beautiful. It's a super look on this. There's a freedom. Nobody here. Nothing. It's wonderful.
In the general classification, we find Philippe Gosselin leading the auto SSV truck category, ahead of the SSV of Senegalese Jean Dagahayek. Thomas Tomczyk leads the trucks in 7th place. So, next to Mauritania for a radical change of scenery, from stony Moroccan tracks to sand and dunes. And we can't wait to know what Manfred Poir, the sports director, has in store for us in this 14th edition. We have to expect different weather between now and the rest of the course. When we cross the border, we will face increased heat, dunes, the sand. It will be totally different from what we have had in Morocco. It'll be 90% sand and dunes. In other years, we had stages with a little bit more in the way of stones, and at the Côte of Tar and Chinguetti. This year, it'll be really navigation, dunes and heat. For the 6th consecutive year, the bivouac for this well-deserved rest day has settled in Dakar on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. A pleasant temperature and a golden sun were at the rendezvous for this well-deserved break. A day that allowed the crews to repair their mechanics, to recover physically and to prepare for the second week of racing. And this is how the rest day on the Africa Eco Race looks. After a very early departure from Dakar to reach the border post between Morocco and Mauritania, the competitors will start in Mauritania for the 6th special stage. But first, we leave you with some beautiful images of this first week of the race from Monaco to Dakar 2022.